San Diego rent prices continuing to increase. Joining us now to break it down and talk San Diego real estate is Jim Bottrell, founder of Jim Bottrell Real Estate Team of EXP. Morning, Jim.
Morning. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you doing?
Good.
So you always say it's better to own than rent, and boy, right now we're really feeling it for the renters, aren't we?
Yeah, the rents have actually increased. We are now, we have the distinguished honor of being on the podium of being the third highest rent in the entire nation. We just surpassed San Francisco. The only two cities that are beating us right now are San Jose and New York City, Manhattan. And that's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Now, what about people who are shying away from buying because they're seeing interest rates on the increase?
Well, the interest rates going up is, it's just part of it. If you go decide you want to buy a house, the interest rates going up, that's the highest your payment will ever be again. And there is no upper limit on what your rent's going to be. I mean, it just goes up and up and up forever without limitation. But at least when you decide to buy, yes, you are locking that payment. It is more than what your rent is right now. I think we can all agree on that. But then it's fixed for the next 30 years. It's the worst it's ever going to be. And then in 30 years, it drops to zero, short of, the property taxes you pay.
Yeah. So what are we looking at in the market as far as inventory? And I'm hearing that we're in the bidding wars again.
Yeah, we've been having that. So despite the interest rates being in the high sixes, low sevens, we're still seeing a lot of buyer activity out there. However, there aren't many homes for sale, and there's not going to be. Let me explain why. There are six reasons people sell their houses. I call them the 6 Ds, and yes, I did make that up. It's death, divorce, displacement, meaning you got a job transfer, and destitute, meaning you lost your job, you can't afford your mortgage payment or something like that. Those are the people that have to sell. Then the other two are diamonds and dependents, meaning you got married and you have kids. Now, the first four, the death, divorce, displacement, and destitute, they have to sell, and that's most of the houses we're seeing on the market. On the other hand, the diamonds and dependents, these are people who want to sell. And that is historically the majority of the people that have their houses for sale are those people. Those are the ones, a normal family or a couple, whatever it is, throughout their lifetime will probably upsize 4 times as they get married and have kids, and they'll downsize 1 or 2. And the thing is right now, they're not doing that because they are all sitting on an interest rate that starts with a 2 or a 3. And they are not going to give that up to go get an interest rate that starts with a 7. And they're not going to do this for years. And they're not going to do this until their situation becomes completely unbearable, meaning there's unbearably too many kids in a bedroom or there's unbearably an empty home. And I think that that's going to take probably 5 years before people hit that level of unbearableness before they bring their house into the market. So this goes, and I was talking to people yesterday saying, we're waiting for housing prices to come down. They're not going to come down because in order for housing prices to come down, you have to have more supply than there is demand. That's how it works. And we're not going to have the supply because those, historically those diamonds and dependents, which are 60, 70, 75% of the market historically, they're not bringing their house to market and they're not going to bring their house to market. So we are going to, for a minimum of 5 years, going to have a shortage of houses for sale. And that shortage of houses is going to cause both going to cause both rents and housing prices to go up. So my advice is anybody, if you're thinking about buying a home, buy it now because we are, as I've been saying this for months now, we're at the beginning of the next big run up in prices. You might as well bite the bullet now and the equity is yours at that point in time. If you own a home, when you own a home, you're immune to increasing rents. You're immune to increasing interest rates, and you're immune to increasing housing prices. In fact, when you own a home, you're cheering when housing prices go up because you're getting wealthy. It's your equity. Right, you're getting wealthier while you sleep.
Yeah, the point is just buy something. Right?
Yeah, don't rent. Renting's just terrible.
Yeah.
And most people can buy a house. Maybe they can't buy what they want, but if it's your first house, you just got to understand that your first house is not your dream house. It's never going to be your dream house. It's nobody's dream house. My first house was not my dream house. It was just a mediocre home, but it got me in the game. And then as the housing prices went up, that appreciation was mine. I sold that house, ended up buying 3 houses from the equity gain of that. And that's how I got in the game is I bit that bullet on that very first house, which is what I suggest everybody do. I don't care what you buy. Maybe it's not a single family residence, maybe it's a condo, maybe it's a townhome or something like that. Get in the game because, there's a reason that wealthy people are wealthy. and renters never will be, is because wealthy people, they get paid to live in their house. I mean, we have 6.77% appreciation in California over the last 39 years. That includes the market crash and the two market corrections. We have 6.77%. That's huge. So literally, you're getting paid to live in your house. You don't get that when you rent. So if you're renting, you're just never going to catch up. Your rent will always increase over time. It's never going to stop increasing. And your cost of living is just, there's no limit. Imagine if you actually got paid to live in your house versus paying to live in someone else's house.
Yeah. All right. Great perspective, Jim Bottrell. Appreciate it, Jim. Thanks. Have a great weekend.
All right. Thank you very much.